Well, hello, Iron Build, back again with another video, and I'm going to roll some strike footage here, but I'm actually going to be talking about something else, checking the recording to make sure it's going, and we are up and going. So, this evening was the start of Iron Banner, and you notice I'm not showing you any footage. Well, let's be honest, I probably didn't have any footage that was worth showing, and, this is my first really, it's my third day, I believe, of console play. Second full day of PvP, and I'm never really super strong, and I really wasn't tonight. Although, I was probably as effective as I normally am. But oh man, I am so rusty. So rusty in stasis. I don't feel like anyone's cheating me on console. At least there's that. But the skill gap between myself and others is so great right now, and of course, I've spent a whole season not playing PvP, so I've not mastered stasis, either using it or defending against it in PvP, so I'm paying the price. And I mean, I had a game or two where I was in the 13, 15 range, but for the most part, no. I mean, I'm really no. Pretty awful. And it's doubtful that I'll even finish the bounties that go along with Iron Banner this time. I just won't play that much. And that's okay. I mean, we're at the end of the season. The main reason you do that anyway is to max out your pinnacles, because you get 4 pinnacles for it. It's one of the reasons I always did do it. But whether or not I hit 1260 at this point is 100% immaterial, because come next week, 1260 won't matter. I mean, because the light level will go up to 1310, and whether I start at 1257, 1258. I think I'm 1258 right now on my characters. Whether it's 1258 or 1260 is, yeah, who cares? It really doesn't matter, because those blues that we start getting right away. Oh, nice death there, right? Just jump right back off the ledge. It's not going to matter. So I just went in and played, and I played some of the solo queue banner, which I appreciate. It helps some. And I played some of the regular, and not much, because the regular banner, oh my gosh, here come the stacks, here come the stomps. And at least I'll say with the solo queue matches, all the matches in solo queue went the full distance and were more or less competitive. So I say kudos to Bungie on that. It's the first time I had done solo queue banner, and I wish they included more solo queue options on all of their PvP, because it would make things a lot better. Sure, you're going to have that outlier guy, that one on your side or the other, but you're not going to have stacks, and that's going to take a lot out of it. So yeah, and I really cannot overstate, and I've said it several times, but I cannot overstate how much cleaner the game is, and how much less aggravating it is when you know that the person on the other side is not cheating you. They're not running some wall hack, or they just know where you're behaving predictably. They know where you're going to be. That's how they sight you in. There is no hack that I know of for consoles, so it's a clean game. Now you can get DDoSed, obviously, but you won't see that in gameplay. You won't be in the match anymore, and there's no reason for that to happen in quick play. So, or Iron Banner for that matter, really. So what do I think of it so far? Well, I really like it. I'm getting used to it. I'm still a little shaky on the shot, and some days seem better than others. It's almost as if the settings change, from time to time. When I turn a system off and turn it back on, I may need to check that. It may be something that could be a problem that is not known right now. Although you'd think it would be worked out by now. Anyway, it's just something I need to keep an eye on, because it could be a thing and I may just not know about it. I just seemed a bit twitchier tonight. And some of that can be, too, the weapon selection, because one of the other reasons that I struggled a bit was I played with different weapons. I used Vigilance Wing. I got a Steady Hand drop tonight, and I also got the Scout. Not good rolls, but I got them. The Steady Hand, unfortunately, has one of the Iron Banner perks that slows down the reload, and oh, forget about it. What is it, an 8-round clip? And the reload's like click, click, click. I'm not kidding, it's that slow. And you better not be around anyone, needing that gun, because I tried to take it even into a strike, and it was pointless in one of these strikes, because you can't add clear with it. unless you have some kind of a reload perk, and on a Titan, that just doesn't exist. Now, if I were on a Warlock or a Hunter, I have options there. I could run gauntlets that would speed up my reload for the Warlock. I could dodge on the Hunter, or I could run my transversive steps, which I normally do, and just run, and it would reload. I mean, that's an option. It would offset it, but on Titan, nah. And by the way, I decided to play Titan for Iron Banner this time. I'm not going to go for the other characters at all. I just won't. I felt like the super gave me the best chance all around, and it did. I mean, I was able to secure kills using that super that I would have died trying to do using either of the other two classes. So there is that, and to that end, I repeat, the Titan super is cracked. No doubt about it. I'm playing Void at the moment here in the Strike, and actually wound up playing a bit of PvP Void because I grabbed all the bounties from Iron Banner and Crucible, and some of the Crucible bounties counted or spoke specifically of Void. And then I forgot that Stasis counts as Void on many of the bounties, so I switched over, and indeed it did, and things went a bit better. I think I did about half a dozen matches tonight. I really didn't get to play that long, and 3 strikes, and that was all I got to play, which I suppose is enough. I mean, for a working man, well, that's quite a bit of the evening. So I'm not complaining about that. And you know, funny thing, my TV is so far away from my chair that I play in that I'm scooting my chair into the middle of the floor and putting it in front of the TV so I can actually see, and it does help. You know, because I'm used to, in my PC setup, the screen is 18, 20 inches away from my face. And I don't know, I'm just kind of used to that proximity. And I can see things a lot more clearly. Not perfectly, but at least better. And I'm an old guy, and the vision thing is important. Oh, by the way, rocket launchers. I'm trying to get used to using them without killing myself because they're going to be improved. Now, I point out that I'm trying to use them without killing myself because, behold, that's what typically happens when I'm using a rocket launcher. This one has that deal where if you get a direct hit kill on something, it has a firefly effect, and of course it kills me too. It's not as good as cluster bombs, but next best thing. And if you're ad clearing in PvE, it's actually okay. I think this one also has the casing that's sought after. I can't think of what it's called. I guess I can look that up. That's what we have this for, am I right? Okay, so it has impact casing. Surplus, I don't like that. Snapshot sights, that's okay. So the other thing is linear compensator. That's what I went for, although I could have gone with confined launch. I think I like linear compensator better. So, alright, as far as the Strike is concerned, not much to say. I mean, it was Void, so I put on the Last Perdition. I believe I had a halfway decent roll with this. And by the way, I use this also in PvP. And Searle's pulse rifles are actually pretty yeoman. I mean, I won't say that they're the best of the best, but they're solid. And, you know, they're stable. They're just good all-rounders. I would call them 80%ers. They're probably 80% as good as anything, but they're 80% as good as anything in about every category, which makes it a pretty balanced weapon. Yeah, I'm trying to clear off my bounties. I was trying to be sure I got my strikes done. I was trying to get the, yeah, there we go, Zavala challenge done, and I got Shaxx done. I'm just trying to crack those off on this last week. I will not do Gambit. I have absolutely no appetite for that at all. I say that and then I'll wind up playing it. But there's no reason for me to, though. There's nothing to gain from it other than the Pinnacle, which I've already said. It doesn't matter if I get the Pinnacle or not. So I'm just going to play what I want to play this week. And I decided early on that I was going to spend the bulk of my time in Iron Banner. Didn't play with anyone tonight. My friend was off playing competitive, which is interesting because he told me yesterday that he was already 5,500 this time around. So I didn't need to do it again, but I guess his friends must have hit him up and asked him to do it. That's probably what happened. I wish I was good enough to do that, but I'm not. I'd have to be carried hard, and I don't want that. If I can't haul my own weight, I don't want to be in it. That's prideful, I know, but that's who I am. All right, there's really not a lot left here to talk about, and you know, I don't have to play this to the end. I just wanted to share where things were right now, and for those of you who are still looking for consoles, asking yourself if it's worth it, it's worth it. This PS5 is worth every penny I put into it, and in fact, I'll be looking for more games to throw onto it because it's really that good. And I'm going to try to spread that out in a lot of areas. Oh, and speaking of that, Bungie released the trailer for next week's release. Catch that on the web if you know, you're interested in that. And if you're watching this, you probably are. Some decent changes coming. 25 new weapons are being introduced. Well, not new, but 25 guns are being added to the loot pool. There will be a few new ones, but a lot of reissues with new roles. I don't want to overstate that or misstate that. There'll be 3 new strikes ultimately, and there'll be a new public event that occurs. This will slowly roll out over time. I don't know why. Well, I guess they're trying to stretch the content out. I do know why. There'll be a seasonal event at the end, leading into May, and that'll go on for a month, I believe, with the spring event. And that's pretty much the bulk of what they talked about. They covered all the sandbox changes, of course, in the TWAB, so I didn't see anything about that. But I didn't watch the stream, so they may have discussed that at length in there, and I'm sure you can find even the stream online if you want to, and somebody will, you know, some other streamer will cover that much better than I will. But I also wanted to add, look at this, being clutch. It's Void, and these guys got into the ogres. You just can't get in deep with the ogres whenever it's Void. Come on now. I guess I'll have to go get them. Anyway, if you are into single-player games and want one of the best stories ever told in video format and should be made into a movie like yesterday, Mass Effect is being remastered. Now, I don't know if they're going to improve the controls on it, which they need to do if they're going to remaster that, because that was one of the hardest things to deal with. It's a third-person perspective game, and the controls were a bit clunky, but the storytelling is unsurpassed. And the character development, I mean, you care about the characters, and the choices that you make have branching possibilities, and if you take a path, there are positive and negative consequences for doing that. And it is a game where you are to explore, to take your time, you know, to try to live it. And I joked online. I was watching Error. He was doing a stream on the Bungie stuff, and he started talking about that. And he asked about the game, and I said, other than being the most immersive and well fleshed out story ever told in a video game, there's not much to tell, you know. And that's kind of sums up what I told him. I mean, the fact is, you will never find a better story in gaming, ever, in my opinion. So I'm hyped for that, and I will have the remastered edition. You wait and see. But I digress, and I'm kind of off of this, but don't be surprised if someday I start covering other games, because there are a lot of good games out there, and some on the horizon that are going to be superb. So, you know, when Destiny has low spots, like right now, it'll be a good time to cover those games. Anyway, that all being said, I went longer than I planned to, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to thank you for being here, and this is Iron Bill, and I'm signing out.